Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and this is my review of Seth Rogen's An American Pickle. And this is the first major film to release on HBO Max, as up to this point most of their original material, quote-unquote original, has been series, most of which they've borrowed from other networks, or like it failed and never launched on that network and they're like, mine now. Especially a lot of Cartoon Network kind of stuff. But enough of that. This film is about Herschel Greenbaum, who works at a pickle factory. He escapes from his Eastern European country and comes to America with his wife, and he falls into a pickle vat and is pickled for 100 years and shows up in modern-day Brooklyn. And here's the thing. When your film needs to make a joke about how unrealistic this quote-unquote science is, you know that you really have to suspend your disbelief. Because this film literally makes a joke about how this doesn't make any sense. But fair, we can move on from that. But before we move on from that, I think one of the most positive, best parts of this film is our opening kind of prologue that uses this old-timey kind of cinematography and lighting and coloring, and you get to see the love that is built up between Herschel and his wife, played by Sarah Snook. And I feel like that's one of the best parts of the film. And it's funny, the Cossacks, and it really builds up a sense of humor and heart to the film, and the driving force of what Herschel wants is for his family in the future to be more than what he is right now. And it's an admirable theme, and the film does come back to that theme, and it really is the central driving force to this, because when he wakes up, all he has left is his great-grandson, Ben, also played by Seth Rogen. Now, here's the thing. The best parts of this film are when the Rogens are acting against each other, because there's a lot of heart. This film delivers a lot on heart and sentiment, and you really feel this connection and longing kindredship between these two characters, because they don't really have anyone else but their family. This is Fast and the Furious. It's all about family. And they build this connection, and you feel that. And those are the best parts of the film, when they are connected and have those emotional moments. Because this film, especially like the middle, the second act and the beginning of the third act, go so crazy off the rails with all these crazy plot points, which the director, Brandon Trost, doesn't really handle the tonal shifts, the transitions, the pacing very well, because it all feels so neck break. Just, you're on one of those like spinny things at a amusement park where you're like whipping around, because it just spends like a couple minutes on a gag, never spends enough time on it to really get the most depth out of it, and then just zips on to the next thing. And out of nowhere, the Greenbaums start to hate each other and act like complete assholes to each other. And like, there's a lot of low-hanging fruit in terms of comedy in this, because Herschel's this man from the early 1900s. He's going to have a lot of worldviews that are really outdated, and they use them for laughs. They set up different kinds of things. There's some fun commentary on internet celebrity, but you last a couple minutes focusing on that. Or when people say, like, there's definitely some Trump commentary on here, but they never spend enough time for it to really feel like it's fully realized. But here's the thing, I laughed. There's like political commercials and ads for like an interview that really made me laugh, because they felt like political ads and they were so obnoxious. But like, they made me laugh, but I never felt grounded or felt like those ideas really got fleshed out. And it takes until the end of the film for us to settle back into the actual connection between these two men. And then it really hits emotionally. And the performances from Seth Rogen, his performance as Herschel is something different, because like, you're used to seeing like someone's like, I'm gonna beat you up, and then them getting beat up, it's played for laughs. But like, he's a scrappy dude. He almost takes down a whole entire construction crew by himself. He's this very masculine, manly man who's all about his family and his religion. And then Ben is this modern, sensitive, hipster guy who's questioning his religion. He's trying to find ways to get over the loss of his parents. And they come from very different perspectives, but when they come together, it's a really beautiful and meaningful thing. And that's why this film, I enjoyed it, but I feel disappointed because I felt like they could have really gotten more out of this, but they settle for some low-hanging fruit and some silly gags for a good middle third of it when they had a lot going for it in terms of the emotional connection and the heart of the film. But in the end, I had a lot of fun with American Pickle. I'd watch it again. And it's funny. Seth Rogen really is the star. And even though some of the writing and definitely the direction are lacking, Seth Rogen really carries this film because honestly it's really just him acting against himself and doing an amazing job acting against himself and feeling this real great emotional connection. But in the end, I felt like there could have been more and it could have been done in a more effective way and went a little deeper, but you got the gags, you got the heart, you got the American Pickle. But those are my thoughts. Let me know what you think and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.